Hi everyone. As many of you know, I am profoundly deaf and I wear a cochlear implant. Some cochlear implant users have 2 implants, but some only have 1. There are several reasons why someone would only have 1. And in my case, it's because my inner ear anatomy wouldn't support one. As you can imagine, anyone speaking on my left side is harder to hear than on the right. So today, I am going to be reviewing a device called the Naida Link CROS. I've had it for about 2 weeks, and I wanted to share my experience with it. The Naida Link CROS is manufactured by Phonak, which is a hearing aid company. However, the CROS isn't a hearing aid, it's a wireless transmitter. It pairs with the Naida Q90, which is the cochlear implant I wear, or the older Q70. These are made by Advanced Bionics. It doesn't work with any other processors or implant companies. This is what the CROS looks like. It looks like a small hearing aid and has tubing and a dome to hold it on your ear. It comes in a bunch of different colors. I chose alpine white to match my Q90. The CROS is powered by one size 13 hearing aid battery. It goes in like this. To turn it on, you just close the battery door. To turn it off, just open the battery door. I found that batteries last around 3 to 4 days for me. That may be different for other people. There is only one button on the CROS, and that is if you want to mute the sound without turning it off. Push it once to turn the sound off, push it again to turn it back on. That's how easy it is to use. Now what has the CROS been like for me? First of all, the audiologist needs to set the CROS up for you. When it was first turned on, I really couldn't tell one way or the other if it was even off. I couldn't tell any kind of a difference in sound. I was a little scared that the CROS wouldn't work for me because I have malformed cochlear, and things that work for other people don't always work for me. The audiologist told me it would take a little getting used to. During that day, walking around New York City, I still couldn't tell if it was on. Then I would press the mute button, and then I would not trust, then I turned it back, and then I push it again. Finally, I just had to open the battery door, just to make sure it was on. However, when I took it off the button, I noticed that everything sounded hollow, like sound wasn't as cool as it was before. Finally, something that's working for me. In the last 2 weeks, I've been wearing it all day, every day. I've been experimenting with different sound situations to see if it sounds different to me than without the CROS on. For example, listening to music on my iPhone. When I don't have the CROS on and I hold up the music to my unimplanted ear, it sounds distant. When I put the CROS on and hold the music to the same ear, it sounds the same as if I was holding it up to my implanted ear. I also tested it at a concert, Ceramic Animal, this week. Sound of the concert was much more in stereo. I was definitely hearing it from both sides. In another situation, I was at the dinner table. I was having a conversation with my mother, and my father and sister were on my left talking. Their conversation overtalked my mother, who I was facing. That never happened before. The size of the CROS is a bit of a pro and con. I like that it is small and you can tell that I'm wearing it. At the same time, I worry I'm going to forget it's on and go into the shower with it or lose it. Another good thing to know is that you can go into the try-on store with your CI Ethernet. I just take out the battery. There aren't many cars, but one thing I wish that you could do is either beep or flash to let me know that it is on. It also doesn't beep when the battery dies. Maybe on future versions they can add that. Also, while most health insurances cover cochlear implants, not all plans cover hearing aids. The CROS is considered under hearing aids. My parents' plan doesn't cover hearing aids, and they had to pay out of pocket for it. So, that is my experience with the Naida Link CROS. I am happy with it so far, and I'm looking forward to using it in a school setting. School's in a couple of weeks, and I don't know what to expect. School is tough enough without only hearing on one side. Thanks so much for watching, and if you haven't, click the red button below and give it a big thumbs up. See you next week.